Step into my ring, you gorgeous legends. You ever hear a name so many times, you start to wonder if you're missing something? That was me with Asuka. So I got curious, and what I found, that nothing WWE has done comes close to Kana. Today, we're breaking down Kana, the indie legend they don't talk about enough. So boom. Kana made her wrestling debut in 2004. She trained under names like Yuki Ishikawa. Sounds familiar? Yeah, probably not to us Western folks. There's a whole other wrestling universe outside of New Japan, WWE, Stardom. I looked him up, and apparently Yuki Ishikawa is a very respected name in Japanese shoot-style wrestling. In A2Z promotion, that is where she trained and debuted in. It was short-lived, but respected. One of those early 2000s Joshi promotions that didn't get a ton of global attention, but absolutely helped shape killers. Kana spent years bouncing around the indie scene, Ice Ribbon, Pro Wrestling Rave, JWP, quietly building her reputation. She was gaining experience, sharpening her strikes, finding her rhythm. She wasn't the biggest name yet, but if you watched her closely, you knew something dangerous was brewing. So this is the first major rivalry we need to talk about when talking about Kana. Kana versus Miku Satomura. Miku was already a living legend in Japan, debuting in the 90s, wrestling for WCW, earning stripes most wrestlers only dream of. When Miku stepped into a ring, people didn't cheer, they bowed. Spiritually, she was that respected. But Kana was like, respectfully, I'm not here to worship you. I'm here to take your place. Their match in Sunday Girls in 2010 was violent in the most elegant way, like watching a ballet with brass knuckles. Meiko was all control and balance. Kana was raw emotion and chaos, but never sloppy. Kana didn't win that match, but she didn't lose it either, because after that fight, she earned something deeper than victory: fear and respect. The hush from the crowd when she walked out, that wasn't silence, that was recognition. Okay, like, you're not just another girl trying to make it, you're a threat. You're it now. After Miku, Kana changed. She wasn't just trying to prove she could hang, she was out for blood. The face paint got darker, the strikes got stiffer, she started playing mind games, the calm before the scream. She was becoming something more than a wrestler. It was like she was saying, yeah, my in-ring work is sharp, but now I'm making sure I'm great in every aspect. And then she started wrestling men, not in comedy matches, not for shock value. She faced men like equals, and in most cases, she outperformed them. Let's talk about the match. I'm talking Kana and Hikaru Shida versus Minoru Suzuki and Sayuri. From the moment the bell rang, there was no hesitation, no warming up, no stalling. Kana wanted all the smoke. She came in ready to fight. She started off against Sayuri, trading these stiff strikes, but then unprovoked, she walks over to Suzuki's corner and smacks him across the face. Mind you, this is Minoru Suzuki, one of the most feared men in Japanese wrestling history. He breaks limbs for fun, bloodies men half his age, chokes out legends like a hobby, and she walked up to him and smacked him for no reason. And not just once, she kept smacking him throughout the match. At one point, the camera angle shifts and you can literally see like the sweat particles fly off of his face from when her hand connects. She wasn't slapping soft. She was throwing bombs. The tension kept rising. You could feel Suzuki get more and more fed up. He snapped. Let me be real with you. This match is not for the faint of heart. Suzuki grabbed Kana by the hair, spit in her face, tossed her around the ring like a rag doll. He kicked her in the head, stomped on her chest, chopped her raw, and locked her in brutal submission holds. And when the ref tried to stop it, Suzuki just tossed the ref out of the ring and kept going. He even smacked his own partner out of frustration. That's how off the rails this match got. But not once, not one single time did Kana back down. She didn't tap, she didn't cry. She fought back with everything she had. High kicks, spinning elbows, bombs to the chest, trying to survive in this clear, unfair fight. And as gruesome as this may sound, I couldn't look away. Kana made you watch her. She demanded your attention. It was a damn good match. And how did it end? With the pile driver. Yes, one of the most protected, sacred, spine-rattling moves in all of pro wrestling. Suzuki hit her with it clean. Now here's why this match matters. Suzuki treated Kana like an equal. He didn't hold back. He didn't water it down. It was one of those rare and uncomfortable moments in wrestling where a male legend gave a Joshi star that level of respect through violence. It wasn't about man versus woman. It wasn't comedy. It was equality. If you've never seen this match, brace yourself. It's stiff and uncomfortable, but it's unforgettable. Watch it, then watch it again. And speaking of that war zone of a match, let's not overlook the other name who helped sharpen Kana's edge, Sayuri. She's an MMA trained shoot fighter, not just a wrestler, a real striker, a technician. Their series of matches in Reina and Smash promotions were nothing short of brutal. They blended pro wrestling with real submission grappling. Their matches were intense, physical, precise, two different styles, same level of danger. Most of Kana's matches weren't just competitive, they were brutal. That was her style. That was her brand. Blurring the lines between wrestling and real fight. And you want to know what made Kana even more dangerous? She wasn't just a fighter, she was an artist. Nobody really talks about this, but in early and mid 2000s Japan, especially in the Joshi scene, women didn't really have that kind of creative freedom. It was a strict system. Promotions decided your gear, your entrance music, your character. Most Joshi wrestlers had little to no say in what they were doing. That type of freedom, the theatrical entrances, the custom gear, the personal branding, that didn't really show up until the late 2010s. But Kana, she was doing it way before all of that. So I'm sure you're wondering, how did she get away with it? Well, she never tied herself to one promotion. She bounced around, Wave, Smash, Reina, and if anyone tried to control her vision, she'd walk away. No hesitation. So all of these qualities rolled into one woman. She truly walked to the beat of her own drum. Kana didn't get cheered like an underdog. She didn't get booed like a heel. The crowd just sat in silence. Silence was respect. And it wasn't just in Japan. The buzz traveled throughout the US and in Europe. Her old YouTube clips started going viral. In 2015, WWE came calling. But let's be clear, she didn't go because she needed it. She went because she had already conquered Japan. They renamed her Asuka. But those who knew Kana, they could still see her still burning behind the paint. In NXT, they let her cook. She became undefeated. Bailey tapped, Amber Moon chased but couldn't catch her. She walked through that division like it was nothing. And it was glorious for a while. Slowly, you could feel it slipping away. The edge that made her feel dangerous faded. When she moved to the main roster, she still had moments. The Royal Rumble win, the WrestleMania match with Charlotte, the feud with Becky. There were flashes of her former self, but the new character, it got louder, brighter, more entertaining. And yes, Kana had always been expressive, but this was different. She wasn't terrifying anymore. WWE made this dark character colorful. Her undefeated streak ended. She was still brilliant, still one of the best strikers in the world, but she was no longer scary. We just get peeks of her every now and then. If you only know her as the Empress, go back. Watch the Miku match. Watch the Suzuki moment. Kana, she built this all from scratch. She walked into these promotions unapologetic, fearless. Didn't matter who you were or what division you belonged to. She didn't want to prove women could hang. She wanted to prove she was in a league of her own. And every match backed it up. From Masato Tanaka to Mickie James, from Shimmer to Sendai Girls, she was just out here making a statement. This American version of her, yeah, it's watered down. But those who remember the Kana era, she's still there. In the flicker of the lights, in the mist, watch WWE with her as Asuka. And I'd be seeing like in her entrances, I'd be like, you know, she look a little scary right now. Like sometimes her face paint and stuff, she be looking a little scary. I'm like, wait a minute, what is going on? Like, what is going on? I had no idea there was this whole Kana character. I feel like I'm late to the party. Now I want to see it all. Unleash her dark side, please. If this breakdown gave you chills, if you're feeling the presence of Kana all over again, then you already know what to do. Drop a comment and tell me your favorite Kana moment. Was it the Suzuki slaps? Like the video if you believe wrestling should be dangerous again and not just colorful. And if you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because on this channel, we don't just talk wrestling, we talk legacy, power, pain, and the beauty in all of it. And as always, I'm Gorgeous Mara, and I'm too cute to tap out.